So if you've watched the channel, read the comments, been around for a while, you know that I personally have kind of struggled a bit with how to talk about target calling. Partially that is because I'm an AFLOC and I'm just never on the target, naturally. And also because generally I'm a Strat Caller, and being a Strat Caller, being a target caller, that takes extra mental bandwidth, and I just don't got enough to go around most of the time. So this way that I've found of just showcasing or spotlighting other good target callers that I end up running with either through Pugfinder or friends of friends seems to be working out pretty well. Last week I did a video of a great target caller who's playing an Ellie Sham. This week I found actually a DK that again we're running in Battle for Gilneas. Same map as last week, but it kind of lends itself well to team fights at Waterworks over and over and over again. So it works really well for showcasing the abilities or just the communications of good target callers. So without further ado, let's jump into the battleground.
I've never seen someone get kicked 44 times in a game, but they do.
It looks like their boomies are pushing Waterworks. So
We're gonna hard swap black belt after a while because IQ2's that guy the other day. He dies to everything.
they're not pushing.
This TC happens to be a target caller in a lot of games. He PvPs a lot, and he recognizes a few of the names on the opposite team. This is a good thing, for us at least, because up front he's able to call out so-and-so is going to be weak, so-and-so is vulnerable to kicks all the time, they don't juke much, or somebody just doesn't or didn't play their class terribly well the last time I played with them, so they'll probably miss a cooldown or something. And he'll prioritize them. It may sound like he's basing it off of their classes, but in reality, he's basing it off of experience. The more you target call, the more you're going to remember names, mainly because you have to say them over and over and over again during team fights. Alright, good. Brutes on us. Someone get in and spin before they cap that.
You can add the pop AMS and everything to stop that dude thing. Hard power.
Gateway is up for when you need to peel quickly.
Tipping him in. Pally.
Oh my fuck.
Or man, don't fight too far off the flag either.
Positioning, especially at the start of a fight, is essential for an effective team fight. He notices that people are pushing up a little bit too far in order to get his target, and he knows that it's not too far, but on the same token he needs to call out that we need to worry about the flag. Remember, objectives win battlegrounds, not getting single kills. So if we push up on the pally and eventually get a kill, but they get Waterworks, we ultimately fail.
They're gonna swap to the lock with an N because he's taking the dick. Get back to Pally in a sec.
Countered.
Getting back Paladin. 3,
Countered.
2, 1.
Dark Zone. Avenging Wrath.
Dude, Peel don't fucking chill. Holy shit. Please.
Pally's
Divine Shield.
Bubble.
Pally bubble. That's good. Cocoon 2. Swap the black belt. 3, 2, 1. Black belt.
I'm pulling these
Black
guys.
belt. Nice. Okay, hard swap back to Paladin in 3, 2,
Go for
1.
Athlete.
Good.
Go for Dakar.
Pally, H belt.
Go for Fukin.
Countered.
He's kick. Oh, he's not taking.
If you're watching closely at the Battleground Targets add-on in the bottom right, or just watching all the different people I'm targeting, you know that not everyone is getting on our TC's target. In this case, you just heard the TC call out to get on the pally, but he's really the only one on there right now. And that's because, at the same time, our healers, several of them, called for peels. We also have people doing CC. You have myself and the other dot classes spreading dots across the entire raid, which is our nature. That's the nature of team battles with a balanced comp. I mean, if you have all Mongoloid melee classes, then you'll have a few more people on your target pretty consistently, or you should. But the reality, at least with this comp, is we have a Demon Hunter and a DK. And we have a bunch of casters. And those casters have several responsibilities, not just to sit on your target all the time. A lot of target callers get frustrated when this happens. In this case, I like that. I mean, he does sound a little disheartened by saying, oh, the Valley's not dying. But he just kind of moves on and calls the next target. If something's not dying, often it's because healer's not being CC'd or locked out, or defensive cooldowns are in effect on that target, and you just gotta swap. Sometimes it's just a matter of timing. Everybody else in this case was a little busy making sure that we survive for the next target to be called.
Black belt, actually, let's swap the black belt. 3, 2, 1, black belt.
He'll Gorfing,
Black belt.
I can't find you, dude. You're way too far.
Did you hear the countdown? Some target callers do this, some don't. A lot of people like it, some don't actually listen to it. But the reality is, every target caller has his own style. And if he's one that tends to do a countdown before a swap, you need to expect that. If you swap too early and do a burst, then you're not going to be in line with everybody else in the team, and you'll probably tip off the healers that damage is incoming. And if you swap too late, then you're not going to have your burst in line with everybody else. If you know your target caller is going to generally do countdowns, expect it. But if he doesn't, then jump right onto the target.
I'm in Come on, let's swap black.
I'll
Here. No, go to warrior.
I can't get to him. Warrior can die.
Yeah, warrior's dead. Oh,
Nice,
yeah,
nice,
he did that. Nice. Hit the lock, hit the actually Boomy, I don't know, I can't pronounce his fucking name.
Boomy S, Boomy S.
Shifty, whatever. Shifty.
Oh, the other Boomy's 10%.
Knocking DK.
Go for Daku.
Look at me.
Go for Affleck.
15. Okay, hard swap to the Mistweaver with an S. Sensei. 3, 2, 1. Look where he is. He's right in the back of her.
Countered. Magic shell.
He's not killing the back guys. Silence. Silence.
Get
He's gonna be.
You can die.
Sometimes what makes a good target is not so much their class or their health levels, but their positioning. In this case, the monk was behind our healers, out of range of just about everything. And so being able to quickly turn around and nuke him before the other healers got in range of him was the good call.
He's dead. It's nice. Let's hit this Boomy.
Help Affleck.
The Boomy next is about to. At 13%, 10%, 12%.
Countered.
He's out. Nice. Good as lock.
Huge cat.
Nice waterworks. I'm gonna start going back, honestly, just in case.
I have no warrior. I need
We're sending people back just in case.
Countered.
Help our healers out so they can balance out so they can drink.
They're trickling. Their warrior's back.
Hit the warrior next. Warrior.
I'm trying to outfield.
Sadly, they can kill us doing this if they keep doing.
Intimidating shell.
We're good.
Feared away.
We're good.
Alright, float. Use the gateway if you need it. Float.
Help the other healers.
No, save your gateway.
Incoming waterworks, they're still trickling.
Alright, that's their fault.
I'm gonna get a drink right now. Fucking Joe's drinking.
Yeah, you're good.
Help Affleck get a drink.
Yeah, I
If
got one.
movies are coming over, they both
If you
still
need to
come
build
over.
shit, kill the statue. If you need to build stuff for burst, build it off the statue right here.
So a lot of melee players, when they're not target calling, when they're not in the team fight, I see a lot of them just sort of standing around, or they will actually be the ones that chase and overextend those last few stragglers and eventually suicide because they got away from the objectives where the healers are. At this moment, we've managed to wipe them. We won the team fight at Waterworks. You can hear the healers are coordinating drinking efforts. It's been a long fight. Everybody's getting topped off. I'm calling out for people to float between the two bases. Everybody's looking for the other team, trying to guess where they're going to hit next. In this case, something that I like about this DK is that he notices that one of the monks has left his statue behind. And the statue gives us an opportunity to build Fury and Runic power outside of the fight, so that when we open up, or when they open up, they can hit with a burst right from the beginning. This is a great play on his part, and this is just part of knowing your class well and knowing how to optimize it in BGs. This is a situation that happens more so in BGs versus, say, in arenas. So it's a sign of a good BG player that knows how to do this.
Like Orphean, you could probably auto attack that to get a bunch of what's it called, Fury.
Yeah, their boomies are stealth. That's a really good point.
Yes, sir. Boomies are coming over. They are coming over. They stealth on their way over.
You have a
right?
healer there, right? You have a, or not?
No,
Yeah,
you
water
don't, we need a healer floating. Healers, don't overcommit.
Spamming
Yeah, they have a
stuff.
healer over by Waterworks.
Big Ink Waterworks. Big Ink Waterworks.
Hey, if they do pop, they're gonna pop after they commit to Waterworks at mines.
Yeah, Waterworks. They're at Waterworks right now. Yeah.
There, yeah, boomies are at mines. Everybody else is at Waterworks.
They're gonna open once the team fight opens.
On that lock with an M, lock with an I, embed up. Embed up.
Okay, one lock or one boomie pop. The other one's still in stealth.
He's here. Shift seat's here.
Okay, never mind. Okay, they're both there.
All right, everybody's at Waterworks.
Okay,
Full commit to Waterworks.
Monk with an S. Monk with an
They're here. They're both
S.
in here.
Healers, if you need a peel, go to the water and have the shaman knock them into the water.
Fear.
Huge.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
we can do that.
Hit the shift heat guy. No, until I can grab Powie. Go Powie right here. He's right on our, right on top of our team. He's kicked. Do
Battle cry.
big damage for him.
Bursting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna grip back on the flag. He's gripped in protection and bubble from Powie. So hitting Boomy now with an S shift.
I'm going for a knock. Cool. Stay there, guys.
Okay, going back on Powie in a 3, 2, 1. I got big damage for Powie. The Q.
Help up.
Heals on that flag.
Heals on
I got you.
Help that play.
Feel for healers.
Powie's kicked. He's trying to spam spin flag too. Shut shift heat guys just getting rotted.
Help
Shit.
Doctor.
Okay, get that warrior out of here. You can die.
Hit the warriors, what worry now? He's dead, come on, he's dead.
I can't get
Still this long.
The warrior wasn't the original target called, but when somebody else on the team called out that he was low on health and could die, something I really appreciate about this target caller is that he actually swaps. And he listens to his team. Remember, the whole point in a team fight is to get kills. It doesn't necessarily have to be the healer first, and then the other healer, and then the other healer, and then all the DPS. If you can get a quick kill on someone, especially someone who's been harassing your healers all game long, go for it, take it, and then get on to the next target. One thing you do want to be careful about, though, is calling targets over your target caller. Respect the role. The target caller should, quote-unquote, validate whichever suggested calls come in. He's the main target caller.
Let's kill this lock with an M. Lock with an M.
Countered.
Okay, I'm gonna hard swap Powie in a 3, 2, 1. He's gripped.
He goes for F. His for Affleck.
Freedom.
Powie, freedom on zone.
Barkskin. Countered.
Powie's now kicked. Powie can.
Countered.
There's a DK 10%.
DK, fuck DK.
Rasta.
Yeah, it's fine. I got myself.
Boomie can die. Boomie can die.
Yeah, shifty, he's dead. Come on. Oh no, he lived.
He displaced me. Fuck him. He's back. Bubble
Countered.
2. They're getting cooldowns.
Lived. Fucking kill the lock pet, I guess. Look kill the lock.
I'm gonna try to look for a drink soon.
Yeah, same with Rude.
Kill the smoke. Shifty can die.
Okay, one of you
Great,
pull off and
great
drink.
counter drink.
I'm gonna go for a drink, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, unlock zero.
Yeah. I have a pet on me.
Alright, Rude is gonna drink then, okay?
Teleport.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm coming back in.
Yeah, Gothos. Look at Gothos in the back.
Dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, just throw one red.
Lock and die. Yeah, it is. We're good. Float it up.
No one's even tried to come mine.
Alright, I'm gonna go for.
You're doing an awesome job, Rogue.
Yeah, Rude's back.
Thanks, guys.
You're so good at this game, man. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
They're regrouping. There's a few looking at Waterworks.
I know.
Yeah, Rude will float.
Alright, cool.
Lock cookies are going up at Waterworks if you need some.
Dude, I'm gonna not need these.
Did they come waterworks right now?
They're looking at Waterworks. Where are the boomies? And the rogue? Anyone can see him? One boomie's looking at Waterworks.
One person go to mines.
I think the rogue's been sitting lighthouse this whole time.
I can't.
The DK's here. The DK's here. Waterworks. They got waterworks. You hit DK. Hit DK. I'm not gonna bother. Don't put Pally's wings are up. Wings are up. Just ignore it till it's down.
I'm fearing Pally. Fearing Pally. Stop hitting the Pally!
This gun one.
Counter.
It's not super obvious because he doesn't call them out every time, but this target caller is watching for major defensive cooldowns on his targets. In this case, he sees the more obvious ones when the Pally pops wings, and he calls everybody to get off it. In that case, it's a good time to CC that player because you want to take them out of the fight. Don't let them just free cast while they have that defensive up. And then the Pally is going to be the next target once those wings are down, because this TC is really good about swapping back onto characters once those defenses are down. How you track these defensives is up to you. There's a lot of add-ons that can help you to do this. One that I personally like is called Gladiator, LASSA. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to give it a try. It is an add-on that you do need to configure up front, because if you set it up and get into, say, an AV with 40 people, it will start calling out the cooldowns of 40 people all at once. And it is quite annoying. A lot of people get frustrated up front. So be sure to configure it in such a way that you can cope with the amount of incoming callouts. If you're listening closely to this video, you'll hear a soft female voice in the background calling out targets from my UI. That's coming from my target and my focus, and that's how I have it set up. Other people use other add-ons. Some people just do everything visually. I think that has some shortfalls because there are some things that don't have big visual effects that you do want to watch out for, such as pain suppression with a 40% nerf to all damage incoming. That is a percentage, that's not a bubble you can burn through. You can burn through it, but you're going to do it at a rate of 40% less. So that's something you want to watch for. And if you're not the target caller, don't stay on the target once he's swapped off, especially in this cases where there's cooldowns, because as you'll see, the Demon Hunter beats on the guy while I'm trying to fear him, and it gets a little irritating.
I'm on Boomy.
Zerger's up, Zerger's up. Their block's gonna get it, possibly.
Their rogue is at...
Yeah. Both
Shift. Kill shift.
Trinketed.
Pally's wings are down. How much swap Paladin in 3, 2?
Hey, they're ghosting.
No, Shift is here too.
Silver beam.
Yeah, full ghost.
Should I go get it, or I don't know?
Go.
I like that, I like that.
I'm going.
Oh, you can die too.
Ghosting mine.
Pally's dead. Nice. Pally's out.
Make sure that rogue doesn't peel off.
S.
Go to
Monk with
mine.
S can die.
They're gonna have prison. He boarded. He's inside the house.
They got
Okay,
people.
so we don't
They
chase
got
them,
people
chase
at lighthouse.
Yeah, peel back. We killed some. They rezzed.
Going back
Counter.
mine. Going back mine.
Another ward.
So this is a video about target calling, but I do want to call out that I, as a strat caller, kind of screwed up here. Left us a little bit vulnerable by sending the rogue to go chase that ghost. I do like having, I do like taking advantage of teams that ghost when we can catch them doing it, and they were ghosting here. But in this case, we're doing such a good job of killing stuff that even though they're ghosting, they're getting rezzers back at that base, and the rogue still would have had to deal with everybody that we killed.
Corzo's nice.
Let's kill the shift heat next. It's a rogue actually. Kill the rogue
Can we
fucking.
get this rogue off fucking kill, please?
Yeah, kill him. Just kill the rogue.
Yeah, fuck this rogue.
He's dead.
Barkskin.
Thank you.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Alright, float. Drink and float.
I want a root beer float now, dude.
Trinketed. 2 minutes.
I want a fucking root beer float. Be right back.
Those are really good. Those are so good.
Yo, Ruder, are you floating or no? Yeah,
I'm
I'll
not-
float too.
Alright,
I'll
I'll
float.
float.
Yo, I'm floating on a dream, dude.
Alright, well, you know, dude, I need you to chill.
We win in 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Like, I'm coming to help you out in case, like.
Hey, don't say that. I've 3 capped at 1450 before one.
Come join the party, man.
At this
It's not
rate.
gonna happen today. It's not gonna happen.
Hold these two at this
The
rate.
Monk
We'll win in a
Sleepwalker
minute.
statue up is so dumb. Gorfine has had 100 Fury, and I've had 100 Runic Power every time because they keep their statues right in front of us. Fucking idiots. Give me some free Runic Power.
I got a druid here at mine. I got him sapped.
Peel the mines.
I'm already here.
I'm gonna triple sap him. I'm gonna sap him one more time. Sap him again.
Oh, you got mad help, dog. Don't you worry.
I think they're
Rogue's here
looking.
too. Blinding rogue, leave him alone.
I'm here.
I'm not gonna touch
Blinding guys.
I'm gonna read him. Just fuck with him.
That's for LFG, man. It's alright.
Thunderbird's on him, too.
I'm coming out. I just spin to win, guys.
You're literally not ever gonna die with me.
I think a bunch of them left.
No. This rogue
They're
doesn't
just
Not
fucking around.
his.
He's just
I can't-
jumping around.
I can't find Invada anymore.
Kavani is currently whispering me. Send me hearts.
Oh no!
I got
Is
some.
that a 3-pack?
That's a 3 cap.
Awesome, look
Look
at
at
me.
they gave up, honestly.
I'm on the house,
Yeah.
son.
Because we beat him up.
Thanks for joining me this week. I hope you enjoyed the vid. I hope you got something out of it. Like I said at the beginning, teaching target calling is kind of hard because trying to boil it down to a set of principles to just apply is not the most simple of tasks. It's more of a social thing and an attention span issue. Being able to keep track of all the different things that are going on in a battleground all at once and being very vocal about it is not a talent that everybody has. But if you do, then I want to be able to provide you with good examples to follow to be able to become better target callers, because finding a good target caller, as somebody who puts together groups all the time, is probably the biggest challenge I face every single time I put together a group. So I want to help you guys out as much as I can. If you have any comments, questions, leave them down below in the comment section, and check out the description for any links that I've told you about for add-ons, and I will see you again next week with another video.
You know what? Don't ask for that. I have a 70% win rate on Tinder. What's your win rate?
Alright, it's like a... But...
I think the amount of people I actually meet up with.
Yeah, the win rate's not very great.
For you or me? My win rate's pretty good.